Thanks, Mark. Okay, so I didn't realise I was getting the first speech, and I didn't realise I was getting the first speech before anybody really had anything to drink, so please bear with me. For those that don't know me, my name's David, and I've known Andrew for just a bit over 17 years. So, despite the grey hair that both of us are now sporting, that's actually more than 50% of our lives, and arguably the entire portion of our life that we have valid opinions on stuff. So, therefore, a few of you don't necessarily know too much about him, so I've tried to structure my speech after some vigorous Googling, based on filling you in a little bit more about Andrew and hopefully prepping Ruby for her life ahead with him. For those that do know me, they realise that I love to talk, and it's rare that I'm actually invited to speak. So I'll try and keep this to a minimum. I've got numerous pages I've scrawled this morning. But well done, Andrew, for factoring it into the program and putting it first, so I'll get booed off stage. So before I start, I'd just like to compliment Ruby on how she looks today. She's a beautiful bride, radiant, smiling, happy as always. For those of you that don't know Ruby, this is not a rare thing. This is not limited to today. She's always smiling, she's always happy, and she always likes to really fill up the room with her joy. I'd also like to pass compliments to Christine and Lila. They had to battle through with bridesmaids. Lila had to fall down some stairs and was on crutches. Christine received some unwanted attention from some birds in the park in the earlier photos. But both Roger and I appreciate them being around to make us look better in all of the official photography. Okay, on to Andrew. So, Andrew's a very, very private person. Some would argue a reclusive hermit. Others would use stronger language. But in reality, there's quite a few character traits of him that pervade and that you get to know with over the while. Not only have I known Andrew for 17 years, but I've actually been living with him for the last 8. So over that period, I've managed to tease out a dozen or so lean bits of information. The first one that you're all probably aware of is that Andrew is a very devout Christian. Those of you in the theological circles may know this, but those of you in work and social and otherwise may not. His faith in God helps structure his life and interpretation of how he acts and how he guides his moral values, and it's grown steadily over the years that I've observed it. I know that a similar dedication to Christianity was something crucial to Andrew when he set himself out to find himself a girlfriend. And I know I was there quite a few years ago where Andrew was like, I think I'm going to find myself a girlfriend. It's really great that Ruby has a similar outlook on life, a similar passion and drive and belief in both Jesus and God, and this is something that I've really enjoyed watching both of them grow into and enjoy together. When we were young, long time ago now, Andrew and I and a few of his other friends, we'd always stay out on the Patterson farm, enjoy Mr. Patterson's quality dad jokes. And this was back when Pokemon was something you had to play with other people and not on your phone. And I'm talking to some of you, I saw some of you on Pokemon Go at the wedding, thank you very much, very respectful. Yeah, we already caught them all 15 years ago, we don't need to do it again. So, staying out there, video games overnight, one thing that always happened was that the Sunday afterwards we'd still end up at church. And it's very impressive for me to see that still happening 17 years later. So the next thing about Andrew is he's a very quiet person, but he actually has a lot of thoughts going on in his head. There's like a small engine, a bunch of cogs, a bunch of gears, constantly grinding away. And even if he's sitting in the back of the room, being quiet, just regarding you with what appear to be dull, lifeless, happy eyes, he's actually quietly judging the situation and evaluating what's going on. So I really implore you, he's not the kind of guy, Ruby, you probably already worked this out, but he's not the kind of guy that will volunteer his information without an express request. Like, you have to be completely precise. Never expect him to tell you what he thinks on food, topic, what you're wearing, where you should go, unless you directly ask him, and be very succinct about it. I worked this out pretty clearly. If you say, hey, what do you want to do? Mate, what do you want to do for dinner? You're like, You've got to give him yes or no stuff, like Chinese or Thai. Right? I guess you chose Chinese. The third thing about Andrew that I really want to impress is a lot of people have talked about Andrew's rapidity in his relationship with Ruby, and I don't think that gives it entirely total credit. Andrew has always been somebody that I've observed that, again, because he's quiet and sitting there regarding things, you don't necessarily know what he's thinking. You don't know how long he actually takes to come to a conclusion or how much thought he puts into it. And for me, I was on a trip with Andrew earlier this year. We spent a couple of weeks in the Caribbean. We did New Year's in New Orleans. We went to Vegas. We came back, both of us up from the blackjack tables, a minor miracle to say the least. But there was one constant this entire month-long trip. That was every single time we posted a stupid selfie Facebook photo, like a duck face as we're bombing along on a little swamp boat through the bayou in Louisiana. Some girl called Ruby would like it or comment on it. It didn't matter what time of day it was back here in Australia. It could be 4 a.m. Some girl called Ruby would like it. So by the time we were actually in Los Angeles, there we are by the famous pool in the Hollywood Roosevelt. We're having a burger. We're pretty worn out. It's been a long time. We're a bit sick of each other. I'm like, all right, Pato, who's Ruby? Oh, just some friend from Barney's. I'm like, bollocks. No way. But anyway, he kept it to himself, evaluation phase, Mr. Enigmatic as always. Within a couple of months, we caught them holding hands together. We knew, all right, alarm bells are going, all right? This is pretty fast for Andrew. So it wasn't with much surprise that he pulled me aside one evening. He's like, let's go and get some Japanese. Like, oh no, here we go. He's already made a decision beforehand. He let me know how he felt about Ruby and that he was intending to work through to moving to get engaged. I couldn't be happier for them. The one thing that I can comment on, again, is that, so I come from a mixed family. My mum's Indian, my dad's English. And a lot of people ask me, what was it like growing up or being a kid in mixed cultures? And I thought some of that advice might be useful to Andrew and Ruby now. What I interpreted from it growing up is that you're a lot stronger than the two cultures. And there's one thing that I think is very universal regardless of which culture you come from, and that's the importance and sanctity of marriage. Particularly in the Chinese culture, and for Andrew as well, marriage, the union of it, and moving generally through life together as a family and bringing the two families together is critical. I think that the different cultural norms, expectations, and values that can be passed on to a child are particularly important and can actually lead to them being a much more grounded individual. And I think, in particular, you both having such a strong faith in God will help drive really, really strong common values across to your kids. Now, I'm saying this on behalf of parents on both sides. There's no hints there at all, but get on it. None of us are getting younger. It's really... They will be tall, yes, thank you. Sorry if I stole anybody's line. But it's a delight to see you guys here today. And again, I don't think that it's been too rapid a process because I've been there watching it every single day, and Andrew heading out with Ruby every single day and talking about Ruby. And it's roughly equivalent of several years of dating and thinking. All right, I guess that's me done. We can let everybody get back to the beer and on to the next stage.
Yeah, I think we